And Roman.
Hey, what's
Hey
going
guys,
on?
it is Scotch for Dummies Thursday Night Live.
Thursday night.
And it is King of the Hill, boys. Pour that.
King of the Hill.
Pour that, Sean.
Hold on.
Wait.
All right.
Okay.
Go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I have no idea
Cheers
what
to
that
you.
was, but
I don't know.
Ben Romick. Yeah.
What's up, a little Ben Roman 10 to warm up with. Some people have red breast.
I had some Glen Scotia. And it
we
was
need to get
pretty
an
good,
audio
too.
video check.
Yes,
for the
we,
comments.
So tell us what you guys did this week.
So I redid the bar. I had company in town, so I stripped the whole bar out, put it back, and then I decided to. Before you guys don't know behind the scenes, we had all these tripods and everything else. And I decided to build a bar up here and hardwire the mics and everything else. It's really nice and clean.
It is beautiful.
But there might be some audio issues or something. So let us know if everything's good. I think I feel like we're good. I feel like we're good.
Tom said that the video needs to improve.
Well, that's his
We're not getting any younger. I don't know what to tell you.
Focus a little off.
Well, why do you think we it's like 480 by 640?
Yeah, intentionally, because if we did 4K, you'd
Nobody
see
wants to see that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see
Yeah.
that.
All right.
All right. Video was pixel start. Seems to be getting better. Yeah, that's the cloud for you. That's what we do.
It is what it is.
So, as long as audio is good, we'll get through this. But yes, somebody posted a minute ago. We're gonna say hi to him. But huge doubleheader tonight.
Audio is top quality. Thank you, Tom.
Video's fine. You guys still look
I'll
terrible.
tell you
Thank
what
you.
was wrong in the post
That's about
show.
right. That's about right.
So yes, let's get into exactly what we got going on. We actually have something fun to talk about. Let's start it off with that. 'cause
So,
Oh, okay, let's do that.
So I got mail today, and we got a card from the Friends of the Animals Baton Rouge. So since you guys helped make all that possible, figured I'd read it to you. Dear Scotch for Dummies, Friends of the Animals would like to thank you so much for the amazing $1,070 donation in memory of Sweet Molly. What a nice tribute in her memory. This money is really appreciated. We are beginning our Heartworm Drive, and I know you wanted it to go towards that. Last year we completed treatment on 121 dogs and partial treatment on 20 more for a total of almost $37,000. So far in 2022, we have spent $76,000.
Wow.
Your donations will help so much.
Very nice.
And we are mourning the loss of Molly just like you. They have a 14-year-old rescue beagle and a 15-year-old cat and two wonderful
Fosters.
Yeah. Nothing like our pets. Once again, thank you for helping our baby. So thank you guys for
You're the one that made it happen.
helping us celebrate Molly.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
I
was
think that's
pretty
a great
cool.
deal. So
Cheers to that. Let's
Cheers,
put
cheers
a
to all your donations.
good
Cheers
cap
to
on it.
Yeah.
One other thing showed up in the mail too.
What, oh yeah, it's,
You want to pull that up from the?
it's
I
I
don't
put
even
it
know
over
where it's
there.
at.
I put it down there.
This?
Yep.
Oh yes.
So this thing shows up. I don't know if he's online yet, but one of our subscribers, patrons,
So you got the cam up?
he goes by, he's an OG patron, right?
Yeah, he is.
He's been around
Dude, he
with
was
us
like
for a
long
long
time
time. But this is from Wheelhouse Whiskey, if you can see it. He sent us this bottle unannounced, didn't know it was coming, sent us a message in Discord, and here's the message that he said, "Here's to the show's 7th year and 11 years Molly shared. A great 18-year-old bottle to honor your achievement in Molly's life. From a top 5 distillery in my book that doesn't put out high age statements, this limited release is damn close to a 4, if not a 4 in my opinion. I really hope you guys enjoy it." And then he gave us his nose and tasting notes, which I think we'll get into when we pour this and see, you know, where we line up with them. But this is from Wheelhouse Whiskey. It's a Tamdu 18. It's definitely his flavor profile, right?
Is it a sherry bomb? Are you saying it's going to be a sherry bomb?
So here's what I want to do with this bottle. I want to open up a batch 1 to put up against it.
What?
Little Tamdu action.
Be interesting because the batch series is non-age, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how those marry up against each other. But I tell you what, knowing him for as long as I have and knowing his palate,
It's going to be a big sherry bomb.
I trust what he's drinking. I know
It looks
what
like
he
it.
likes.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you,
thank you very
Wheelhouse.
much.
Thank you.
We will be sure to open this thing up with you around and compare our noses and
That's cool.
palates and stuff. So that's really cool. 2 big fights tonight.
We do have fights. I poured tonight.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
So
so
I
if there's
even
a-
found a random sticker on the bottom of one of these bottles and pulled it off before
Wasn't
I
me.
poured.
That a boy.
Right? Checked on all that
See?
stuff. Made sure I poured the right whiskey in the right glass.
Crossing the I's and dotting the T's.
Right.
Doing all that.
So,
John DeVoe, haven't seen you in a long time.
so
Cheers.
my vote doesn't count tonight, but these three dummies get to vote.
I like it.
I see
Yeah.
John DeVoe on Facebook all the time.
Do you?
He's got lots
Let's
of
let's say hi to a couple folks.
Yeah, we got a
Come
long
on
nights.
on.
We need to get started on these
Yeah.
hills.
43
Get
online
into
so
this.
far already.
So Lockness is in. Good deal.
Trooper.
Hi, Mr. Girl. Steve A. Where you been, Steve? Haven't seen you on a pre or post show in a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes.
Delmore,
Time for a
Gregor's in
dram.
there.
Gregor, I was busting his chops on Roy's show earlier. He said he wasn't going to be here tonight. Oh, the pre-show he wasn't going to make it.
Trevor and Pierre, stuff for work. Ever went? Mike, Bobby J. They're all in. Zach.
Bobby
and-
J.
Bobby J. How do I know? Oh, it's because I saw him this week.
What?
Did you see him in
Yeah, we
Chicago?
hung out.
That's
We
awesome.
had a good time.
Oh, you
Showed
guys.
up in
He
Chicago.
showed up to my room with a bunch of bottles and said, "Hey, let's drink some." I'm like,
All right.
"Okay." So
Twist your arm, right?
we had some good bottles, so that was
That's
awesome to
awesome.
see him.
That's
He,
Seems
he had to
okay.
go back to work after that.
I bought a
but-
few bottles while I was up there too. Did you
Did
guys
you?
notice? Well,
No,
one was right here.
Pierre's online, and just a quick reminder to those patrons that know, Pierre's birthday was last week, and he opened the birthday bottle that he bought for
Oh, did he?
himself.
Nice.
Imperial?
That 30 or 31-year-old Imperial.
Nice.
That's I forgot to ask him about that.
Well,
on
and the funny
pre-show.
thing
Did
is,
he,
so he poured a dram, but then he shared like 2 drams. So
Right.
he's already shared out more than he's drunk, which
Oh,
I think
yeah.
is amazing.
I haven't had a bad Imperial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Trooper Henry, who was thinking about crashing the show tonight because he's out over in Ohio, but it was still too far of a drive.
Yeah, it's
but
a
hopefully
long
we can
drive.
cross paths with him in the next week or two anyway, somehow. I see Sean was on there. Brandon.
I'm going through.
Yeah, he's
Quickly.
going.
Bob H.
Franco, cheers.
Yeah.
Benoit.
John.
Rich.
Man,
Oh,
we got a
man.
ton of
My gosh, there's a lot of people on. Okay,
Hey,
All
ready?
right, man.
All right.
So where do you want to start tonight?
Okay,
I think
so
you got to start with the bourbon.
we got to
We have to
start
start
with
bourbon.
the lighter ones.
All
So what do we got going on for tonight's fights? We have two individual fights. We've got an ex-bourbon category and then the sherry category. So we're going to start with the ex-bourbon.
These line up pretty good.
Really.
So I don't. Did you have the receipt on these?
I wrote it in the can, so
Good.
we don't have to find the price point.
Like
I wrote
graffiti?
it. Yeah, it's on the inside. So I got the price point of the Glencadam right here.
Okay.
So let's do the tail of the tape and talk about it. We got Glencadam 10 is the challenger tonight, I believe, right?
Did anybody
Just
suggest this one, or was this one just like
Actually,
a
we've
random
had a
pickup?
few people in the comments suggest it, and when I was up at Benny's with Bobby J, he actually saw this one and said, "Hey, this would be really good in the King and Hill bourbon." I'm like, "You're damn right."
So
And here it is.
home it came, right? There you go.
right.
So it's a 46% unchill filtered, no coloring added. So they are pretty much true to their
There's the-
what's coming out of the barrel. It is diluted to 46% ABV. but it's
$44.99.
$44.99 is a pretty good price.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 10-year-old noted as the rather delicate
The rather delicate.
Highland single
I
malt.
don't know if that's going to help it in the ring or not.
Well, it's a bourbon, so
Right.
Right. So
Right.
and the Glenmorangie, which we all know, it's been King of the Hill now for at least 2 ex-bourbon.
I want to say, yeah, so we've only had 3, I think,
Yeah,
fights
so
with
it's the
ex-bourbon.
current king, and it's a strong foundation. Glenmoe showed up to this King of the Hill series, boys.
No
It has really
doubt.
showed up. So it's going to be interesting. I think there's about $10 difference. I think this one's a little bit cheaper than
35, yeah.
Yeah. So about the same price
It's
point.
43.
I can't read it. The brown.
Yeah, I'm not
color
sure what this
makes
one
it
is
hard to
either.
read.
46.
46. So Glencadam's probably a little bit hotter, maybe.
3% hotter according to the label. I think this
I
is
can't read that.
43. It's-
Well, and again, this is probably potentially colored, potentially chill filtered because it's 43, whereas
Yeah.
this is neither. So we'll see.
So it's
Oh yeah,
and
that's a good
as far
point.
as color wise, they're very close. Let's pull up the dram cam real quick and to take a quick peek. Both of them. So here's the bottle labels. Now I will say Glenmorangie is absolutely in just about every single liquor store you can think of. The
Glencadam.
Glencadam is a little bit more secluded in certain, like all the Bennies have them. Certain major states, our market does not have them.
So I would say the
I think the
Glenmore's
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 a
a
little
little darker, a little darker.
but it's
yeah.
probably a little
Ruby.
bit E150.
I was
It
gonna
may
say
be a little
it
bit
may have a
colored.
little coloring. in it.
Yeah.
That was one of the 4 bottles of scotch in the liquor store I went in today in the sketchy part of town.
What, Glenmo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, they had that, and they had Johnny Blue.
Really?
I don't know.
What do you
What are
Lots
you
of
gonna do?
options. Lots of
So-
options.
All right.
At the end of the day, though, it really close measuring up, right? So 3% ABV different, $10 different, but aside from that, everything else.
gonna be a good fight.
Your points about the chill filtering may actually be the difference here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the coloring is not going to change the flavor, but we'll see. So we're gonna
Depends on where
spin
they
for
make
this.
the cuts and stuff.
The green glass has
we should
green
do the- we
glass
should do-
with the blue sticker.
Molly.
We should do the Molly coin because it's a true head.
Oh yeah, that's true. So we'll say the Molly or the green glass is heads and the gold glass is tails. Spin it and it hits over and it comes up heads.
It's on heads, so green glass.
Green glass start.
So let's talk about what we're going to do if you don't know what happens
You
with King
talk,
of the
I
Hill.
sniff.
Yep, we go around. We are going to nose both of them, make our judgments in there. We're going to taste both of them, make judgments, add water, repeat. So really kind of 4 rounds, and then we're going to go around and we're going to say who wins the fight. Sean's vote, his score doesn't actually count because he poured them. We're trying to keep this as blind as we can.
But I do get to talk about how you guys are wrong.
Absolutely. Well, you do get to give perceptions. We want to hear
Absolutely.
your,
And to be fair, I don't remember which one I poured.
So yeah, then the key is the chef's nose is
Super light.
important.
I got honey and like nectar, honey, a little bit of maybe a bit of orange maybe. But it is light.
Is that the
It's
blue
got
sticker?
it's got like orange blossom and a little bit of honey,
Orange
maybe
blossom.
some fresh linen. Like it's got a little bit of a floral nose to it. It's
It
really
does.
nice.
It's nice.
But it's not
Not overpowering.
come out and grab your face. Like it's a very delicate whiskey.
Are we gonna nose
It is.
these
There's,
before, nose both before tasting?
There was a little bit of an initial vanilla in there, but that didn't stay long, and then it got a little floral on the bottom, maybe a hint of green grass, but it is very airy, very light. You're sure?
Yeah.
You're right
Change
about
the
that.
light back there. Is the light behind us better? Doesn't look so blue screen or green screen?
No.
I don't
That's
know.
what I
I
was
like
saying.
the color.
I like the blue back there personally, but this may
Yeah,
be a
it's
little more
light.
depth.
I'm getting the linen.
Linen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that one's
Like fresh laundry. Boy. Okay, so there's some real fruitiness coming out late nose. No, it's gone again. That's light.
Yeah, it's because it's so light.
It is so
very
light.
light.
You know, ethereal. There's not like any heavy flavors. There's no peat. There's no heaviness in there at all.
this is gonna be very interesting. They're very similar to those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a gold glass with the
Green sticker.
green sticker.
So that one,
what
very
I
similar, floral. There's one thing that stuck out to me, and it was like the big red chew. You know, and the smell of gum. Kind of has a little bit of the gum smell to it.
Bubblegum flavor, really?
To me, it's like that, but more. It's got more honey on it. It's just got a sweeter, fruitier nose, and it's a little bolder.
Almost like rock candy too. Or
So
something.
Whereas
yeah.
that one is like super light.
I'm getting
like
I'm
very
getting like juicy fruit gum on the green glass right now. So
Wait till you,
okay.
but they both smell good. Like they both have a
Very
very pleasant
pleasant,
nose.
This one is bolder. It smells heavier.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that's
strong like
just,
bolt.
Well, I don't.
like
Like, I don't want to second guess, but is it because it's the non-chill filtered one and it's just a little bit more?
Possibly.
Or is it just
So-
like where they made their cuts and
So-
that's the whiskey?
That's the key. So I don't think you'll pick up a lot
So-
of the chill filtered on the nose, but the ABV you might.
This one's definitely heavier. I actually get like a bark note, like I don't want to say pine bark, but there's a woody, barky note, like you smell bark when you're peeling it off.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. This guy's having a lot of almost mini whiskey gasms going on in the nose.
Yeah,
on.
so this one is definitely not as ethereal. It is more of a punch. It's more of a fruit forward. It's more intense nose than the green glass.
Green's nice too. A little bit more spearmint. I'm gonna go in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's
Yeah,
start
I just
drinking
Go
these,
ahead and
man.
get in it. So
So this is was this the first one?
That's the first one. Green
I
glass.
gotta be
is
honest,
first.
I pretty tight first round just on the nose. There's definitely
Oh, that's
maybe
lovely.
a push or a 1 point difference. I think it's gonna come down to preference.
I really enjoy this style of whiskey right now. The bourbon, the flavoring. It's just such a nice, mellow, easy drinking Scotch. Like it just gives you. I mean, I'm getting all kinds of just nice honey, some custard, a little bit of wood finish to chew on for a little bit, little lingering.
To me, this is I agree. It's got there's some nice vanilla custard notes in there, and it's got a little bit of a fruity quality to it. to me, this is the kind of glass that you can pour and just enjoy it and not like overanalyze it
Just
because
drink
it's
it.
just a good whiskey,
Yes.
right? But you could also make this into a cocktail, and it would be a great cocktail. And at the price point of either one of these, I don't feel bad about pouring
Yeah,
that
you're
into
right,
a cocktail.
you're right.
And it's actually got a little more oomph than I was expecting with the nose.
So interestingly enough, on the very early finish, you swallowed it, and the very first thing I, believe it or not, was like hops. I got a little bit of hoppiness on it. And it
Really?
reminded me of like an IPA. I was like, where'd that come from? It definitely, I think it
about
drinks
that?
a little bit stronger
Wood.
than the nose implies, because it came off so light, right? But there's actually some meat there.
I got some linen on the finish, which I don't know that I've ever done before.
That green glass is fantastic on the palate.
It's good.
It's good.
I would say when I was nosing them both side by side before I tasted it, and the green glass has a broader profile. It is much more subtle. So if you want a whiskey that you're gonna know what you're doing, the gold glass is much better.
On
But
the nose?
that green glass between nose and palate,
It's really good.
it's really.
Honestly, I'm going to say really.
Scotch down under.
I mean, add a little water to both these,
Where's that guy been?
No.
or not just water to the green.
Yeah. The nose, they're subtle differences.
Yeah. To
I
me,
don't- I don't
the
think it's
gold
subtle.
is much more bold.
Ooh,
So you put water on green, right?
green is water.
Okay.
I let it sit in the front, and it was just
The,
sugar,
the
sweet.
nose isn't as bold as it was initially.
Starting to come
Like
off. huh?
it's wafted off a little bit.
That has a little bit more heat, I think, in it.
Really? I thought green glass had.
No,
some-
that's a great dram right there. Wow.
So
A lot sweeter than the green glass. A lot of similarities with the honey, the nectar, the vanilla, and wood. Like
Yeah.
very similar. That feels like it's got a little bit more meat and potatoes to
Okay.
it.
It's
Good.
got it's a little bit.
More sweet too.
Yeah, it's definitely a little sweeter. It's a little more bold. I get green apple on this one as opposed to like the linen
Okay.
on the other one.
Okay.
But you're right; they're very similar. Which I guess it's a 10-year-old whiskey that's aged in ex-bourbon barrels, both of them. So
Yeah, I could see the green, almost like green apple bitter a little bit.
yeah,
Maybe.
towards the end of the
Uh-huh.
finish for sure.
okay.
What do you got?
All right. I actually I'm thinking it's probably more ABV, but there was a little bit of a spiciness there on the end of the palate, early finish. I like that one because there's just more to chew on. It gives me more. There's just
They're
more
both
in it.
similar, so
They
close.
are similar, but right now I got a score in my head, and it's 10-9, 10-9, both rounds.
Yeah, they're very close.
So which are you picking then?
I'm not going to give my
Oh,
scorecard away.
I'm super
Come on
glad that
now.
my vote doesn't count on this one, to be
Come
honest
on
with
now.
you, because they are both
So,
good glasses.
It's halftime, right? They're in the corners, and
They're getting refreshed. The
Cut me.
coaches.
well, right. Which
Boy, that's tough.
I think it's a pretty even fight. I definitely think they're both,
I-
coming
I-
at each other.
I'm not sure it's as even as you
I
think.
think you're right. I think they're both kind of. I think they're both 10-9 to 9, but they're both kind of like flip flopping. It's like, this is close. This is a real close race.
I think right now the green is winning it for me. It just seems to have more. And so let me back up.
Combining the nose and everything?
Yeah, let me back up a little bit.
Glencadam is 46%.
Yeah. So my view is tonight, one of these has a broader profile that is subtle in each of its components, and one of them is more upfront, kind of punch, not punch in the face, but it is a much more stable nose and palate. And I think for me, the green is that unique
that water?
goodness, whereas the gold is a little more one-dimensional. All the flavors blend really well, but it doesn't
Bacon
kind of.
spices?
Did you drink it already?
Hell yeah.
Nose, did you drink on it too? Boy, you guys are skipping around 3.
Whatever,
huh?
man. Get you some. Did you
Yeah.
get baking spices on there?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy. Like baked apples and cinnamon and nutmeg and lots of honey. Like that's
The water did some serious difference to that.
It made it
Open it
better.
up.
Or
I
did
think,
it
Yeah.
I
open
think
it up?
water's opened it up. I can still get some of the neat nose, but water definitely opened it up.
Yeah,
It's
so I
surprising.
essentially put that much of the dropper into it. So in both, so we're really consistent on the water.
I will say it's better. And it's more on the honey side and wood side influence, but does not, from the comparison to the gold initially, there is a sweet difference here that does not have. This is more
Yeah.
of a kind of in the middle sweetness, like
It's not sugary.
it doesn't taste sugary at all.
I gotta tell you, water helped it on the nose and the palate for me. I'm not saying nose and palate neat were bad, but I think water brought it up a step.
To me, the green glass has like, it's that floral, like that soft smell and palate that seems like it should be sweet, but it's not sweet. You know what I mean? But it's really good. Like, I really like it.
Yeah, I describe it as almost like a dry vanilla. So
Yeah.
when you think of vanilla, like a vanilla in a cookie or something, it's sweet and it's got all that component. This is like unsweetened vanilla, and I don't know how that works, but
like dark chocolate, right? Like you think about chocolate, but it's
Yeah.
not sweet.
It's not-
Right.
It's got
not milk chocolate.
Right. Not that this has chocolate in it. It's very
Right.
floral,
Yeah.
and but it's really nice.
It's like baking two cakes. They're both similar, but one has a little bit more of a smell when you walk in, like, that cake smells a little bit more potent of sugar or whatever, and cream, whatever. And I feel like gold has it on the nose right now. I mean, they're very close, but gold has a little bit more of a cake spice going on with it. And this is very good, but
I
it's
did not
missing
expect
that.
to get the spicy notes out of that glass.
yeah, interesting.
That was interesting. But my vote doesn't.
And that's out of green, right?
Yeah.
That was a green that you got all that.
Yeah. Oh, that smells good too. Well, damn, you guys got a
So
tough
FYI,
choice.
whiskey can change with water.
Not super sweet like it was originally. Neat. Still there though. Still got a little bit more heat, a tad. It could be spice, could be pepper in the end. I feel okay. Here's the difference. Heat, obviously, I would say the green has maybe a little bit more honey, but the green also has more of a wood finish than this does. This has more of a spice finish.
The
gold,
yeah.
Gold has more spice.
Then this has more of that wood.
See, I didn't get.
To me, that one is still very balanced and well-rounded,
agree.
and everything goes together very well. Whereas the sip that I had, I'd probably put a little bit more water on it because it just felt a little hot, and some parts of it got a little disjointed.
Yeah.
Still good, but just like, I mean, you're talking subtle differences between these two. So to me, that lost a step there,
Yeah,
right?
I agree. These are close, man.
Right,
They're
but
both delicious.
they're really
both of
good.
them pour me a dram, and I'm gonna be like, this is great dram, great bottle.
All right, so I gotta go around one more time here
Okay.
because I'm
What you got?
Struggling.
What you got so far? on the
well,
gold?
I hate to say it, but my scorecards are kind of even.
Right?
I need one of these things to either hit the canvas or throw the knockout
You're-
blow. One or the other, man.
You're telling me which twin is the cutest one,
Right.
right?
And they're both 10-year-olds, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and very close on ABV.
Don't call them by the wrong name, Dan.
No.
So I will tell you, in my opinion, the green glass has much higher level of sophistication and subtleties than the gold glass. The gold glass has more potency of flavor.
Okay,
So what are you into tonight?
that's the question. Do you want sophistication or do you want good flavor?
Well, they both have good flavor.
Okay, well,
They
gosh.
both have good flavor.
So are you sitting there reading a book, or are you out partying with friends? If you're out partying with friends, gold glass is the way to go. If you're sipping a whiskey while we're reading a book,
side by side.
green
yeah.
glass is the way to go. Because it has more sophistication and more
I know which
subtleties.
one I would pick tonight at least,
Yeah,
but I agree.
I got my pick too.
It's tough.
I'll let Mark go before I say anything.
You go ahead. Don't worry about me.
You were a good
I
turn.
think I might have already given it away. God, that's so good too.
So we've talked before, guys, about so the whole King of the Hill series is based on what we're tasting right now and trying to be unbiased, right? But we're also talking about how everyone has their own palate and uniqueness, but it's also about your mood, which you guys were alluding
The
to a
timing.
second ago.
Yeah.
It's what you feel like, and right now, I would say, to be fair, that both of these are so evenly matched that we're talking about splitting hairs here on certain things.
You are.
And it's really in conjunction with your individual mood. And to that point, I'm going to give my flavor profile here to green because I feel like when I'm looking for this is my first dram of the night. This is my entry level. This is me. I don't want super sugary. I don't want super hot. I don't want anything crazy. Just give me a straight up nice bourbon, ex-bourbon barrel finish whiskey, Scotch that hits my palate. It's not going to burn me, and has a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of roundness, and it's low ABV. And I feel like they're both there, but green has a little bit more roundness. I mean, it's tight, but I'm going to give my notch the green.
I'll let you
Real
guys
tight.
vote before I tell you what I would pick.
You need a second?
Really close. This is hard.
It
No,
is.
I don't need a second. So, after 4 rounds, I had scored it 10-9 in the first round, 10-9 in the second round to gold. All right, it was close, maybe 10 and 9.5. They were even, but there was just one or two small differences or notes that just caught me off guard with the green glass. Whether it was having a hop note just right off that, and it was real brief. That's still a minor chink. I got to catch it. So I had gold leading those 2 rounds. Come with the water, and I think it evened out. It was almost like tied after 4, and I was like, gosh dang it. So then I did it side by side, and that I think was even tougher because they're so damn similar. I'm like, son of a gun. I went back around. I'm actually giving the edge to gold. For some reason right now I'm really? That one is more appealing to me right now. I honestly would drink both of them. You hand me one, I'm going to enjoy it. But if the point is I got to pick a winner here, and I got to find some flaw. So it's close. I'm going to say gold.
Wow.
All right,
this
Andrew,
is
pressure's
going to be
on.
interesting. No
Okay,
pressure.
so
Do you want me to tell you what I was going to vote for?
Yeah.
Make it even
yeah,
worse?
go ahead. Yeah. Tell us.
Suspense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. You got to pick.
Okay. So I think
That was-
I think
I
it's
don't want to throw it
I
off.
think it's fairly clear that green glass was in the lead for me from the beginning, and what sold it for me at the end. So you're right. With water, they become more similar, but at the end, the last sip of that green glass, it effervesced, for lack of a better word, into my nasal cavities, and it just kind of filled my entire senses much better than the green glass did. The green glass is more of a tongue and mouth feel only, whereas the green glass really.
You said green glass twice.
You said green glass on
The
both.
gold glass is much more palate heavy,
Okay.
whereas green, it kind of fills all your senses better.
Okay.
And so the green glass is my pick because
Oh.
it hits more senses than the.
Okay, so
So you're going green. I'm going green.
going green.
Green is the winner.
Green wins.
There you
So
go.
that is what it is.
So I'm glad that I poured this week. I really am, because it was tough. I would say neat. I would have probably given it to gold. I like the nose better neat than I did the green. The green was a really nice nose, but it was just really hard to get to. But once you added the water, that green glass was money. Like, to me, the gold glass lost a step on that. It kind of got a little disjointed. Whereas I just liked the green glass better. So you guys got
They're
to.
good.
Do you know which one is which?
No, I don't.
Yep, green's Glencadam.
Is it?
Is
no,
it really?
No. Green sticker is Glencadam.
Green sticker. So
Oh,
Which
so blue.
wow, that's crazy.
Blue one.
Blue won. So Glenmo held on to its title.
Glenmo stuck.
So they're getting a green sticker
Green sticker.
to match with green
Green-
glass.
Green
We're putting
sticker.
this to focus
So
here.
Glencadam.
So that's Glencadam. So that lost. Gold is good, but it lost. I'll
So
tell you
the-
what. Give me either one of those glasses right now.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to drink it right
So
now.
Glenmo
Yep.
won
But
again.
I'll finish off with the gold, no problem, because it's delicious.
Well, you gotta
Like
take
this,
that cat home.
I'll tell you what. Either one of these would be great
I know, but
in a decanter and just have ready
Yep.
to go and pour.
Oh, yeah, that's
They're
true.
both perfect
Yep.
for that.
So, all right. So let's talk post-fight analysis. And truth in lending, guys, I honestly thought the gold glass, the green sticker, was Glenmo.
I did too.
I
I would have put $10 on it.
I didn't. I honestly didn't because I don't remember.
I really thought that I was picking Glenmo, and it's crazy. Everybody's calling out how this isn't really true to blind. You guys know. You know what? We think we do. I mean, how many of these fights you think you know what's in each glass, and then
Almost
you reveal
all of
it,
them.
and you're like,
Unless it's just been a whiskey that I haven't had in forever. Like most of them, I've got like at least an idea on one of them.
I can't
Oh, look.
believe that.
Holy crap! Hold on a second. Let's pause for a second. I forgot about this, y'all. It happened. We can now super chat Scotch in the Bayou.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
nice.
I saw that.
She had her time.
Congratulations.
well,
So
well,
Very
well.
cool.
Very good.
Let the games begin. Now, congratulations, Liam. That's awesome.
This is a really good head to head.
It was
Wow.
Honestly, whoever won, I was like, both these bottles are like
They're
35,
winners.
40
Let
bucks.
me,
I'll buy
let
them
me
both.
see that Glencadam.
Right.
again.
So honestly, this is probably the first one that we've ever mentioned this for y'all at home. If you ever want to do a blind tasting, get the friends to get your buddies together, whiskey friends, match these two up and go head to head and have some fun, because I guarantee you a lot of people are going to be wrong if they had to guess which bottle's
Yep.
which.
For real.
That blue dot, Glenmorangie. That's
a good-
there may be a reason that their sherry went pretty far in our head to head.
Well, it's
It's
foundation.
delicious.
To me, I can't believe that I was picking the Glencadam. I really thought I was picking Glenmorangie to win it. I mean, this is the one that's hitting me right now.
That's what we get for thinking.
Yeah, don't think. Don't
so
think. Go
we're
with the
behind
senses.
already. So let's hit
Yeah,
some water.
good bottles, guys. Let's reset here and get going for round 2.
Man,
The
that's
big
crazy.
heavyweight battle.
Glenmorangie
So
won
listen,
again.
so check this out. So I actually was not here when you guys did the sherry, which has been a month
has
or
been a
so
minute.
Yeah,
ago.
both guys picked Glenrothes over the other one. Which,
What was it? Glenrothes? That was a Santa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
no,
Glenrothes
was
beat
it?
La
Was it
Santa.
that
Yeah.
long ago?
I think it
Yeah,
was.
pretty sure.
All right.
So Glenrothes has not had a second fight yet. This is his first.
I feel like it's been resting on its laurels and it's
But-
about to have a problem.
So I don't know.
Well, let's do the tale of the tapes, because there's something to me that
All right.
stands out again with this Dalmore. This isn't your typical.
Is this
Dalmore.
not fair?
It's
Right.
2 years older than.
Well, no,
it's more than that.
it's more than that. So it's the
Talk to us.
ABV. So the challenger is Dalmore 14. Everybody knows a little bit about Dalmore, right? I can tell you a story about the stag if you want to hear it.
Heck yeah.
We don't have time for that.
Put
This
it
is
on
a 14-year-old. The box. The
First
box.
time?
Where's the box?
I don't know.
Right there, because I got the price written on the
Look
inside.
how it's E150.
So
of course.
anyway,
There's gotta be
it's
coloring in there.
what makes this challenger interesting is not only is it a Dalmore, but it's also 43.8% ABV.
Which is not normal for a Dalmore.
Every Dalmore you know out there,
They like accidentally put a little too much in it.
Yeah.
it's like it's all 40% ABV. Even the King is 40%, and we love that one. But
Yep.
how many times have we had a Dalmore and said, "God, I wish they would have put this at 46."
Yeah.
So Dalmore heard us, and they put it at 43.8. They're working it, but it's a 14-year-old. This is $89.99, so it's a little bit higher
Ooh, it's a
price.
little
It's a
pricey.
$90 whiskey. Not surprised. Dalmores aren't necessarily cheap, but nevertheless, I have to assume it has coloring. I have to assume it's been chill
Yeah.
filtered. It is.
I gotta show this real quick. Look at that. Look at that picture.
Oh, jeez. Get that out of here. Get
That's
that
where
out.
we got that bottle
So
from.
I do have to point out, it says on the box, matured in American white oak.
On the shelf.
You mean ex-bourbon?
Oh,
Okay.
those are neat.
And Pedro Ximenez sherry casks. So that's where it's going to get, that's why it belongs in this sherry category. But nevertheless, it's going up against Glenrothes, who, I don't remember who Glenrothes beat.
I think it's La Santa.
I'm pretty sure.
Which
Nothing's beat
says
La Santa
some-
yet
that
for a
says
while.
something, because
I-
La Santa
yeah.
held the belt for,
No,
I
I-
want to say 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that fight. You guys, I think
It
you
was
were
the
there.
two
You
of
were
us.
remotely. So did you pick?
No.
No one
I-
picked La Santa.
No, he picked Lasanta.
I switched.
You guys
But
picked.
we straight up
Yeah.
picked
So the key with that was that they had spent some time,
drinking.
more time with it than I did. Mine was a fairly
That's true.
Off the cuff review, and I didn't have the discussion with it. So.
Right.
Right. So, nevertheless, this, Glenrothes is the king.
Yeah.
It is, what do we have? It's 40% ABV. It's 12 years old. So,
This is PX, by the way.
2 years younger, less ABV.
Ooh, I'm afraid we're going to be able to pick it out.
This just says matured only in sherry seasoned oak casks and
both sherry
bottled
casks.
in natural color.
Technically, yeah.
But it has to be chill filtered
Okay.
at 40%.
Yep.
So, nevertheless, look, it beat a very resounding king. La Santa
Well,
held the
and I
title.
remember at the time we had to talk about the Glenrothes and how inconsistent. Like
Very
you either
true.
get a really good bottle that you're like, I can't believe this was only $40, or you get one that you're like, I can't believe I paid $40 for this.
Right.
So it's one or the other, and
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm looking forward to this fight because I am a huge Glenrothes fan. I love what they've done. And their SMWS bottles as well.
I have over
are
6 of their
amazing,
SMWS bottles.
amazing. So this is going to be a good fight. And Dalmore does not hold punches. It doesn't.
Dalmore's good.
Yep.
It's good. Even at 40% ABV, I want to beat it up and cuss it.
A lot of people
and I
hit
do,
it,
but I
but-
still drink it because it's good.
All right, let's do this.
So we got 2 glasses. The gold has heads. The
Yellow and red.
Red is.
Yellow and red. Okay.
So we are going with looks like heads again.
Yellow it is. We're starting off
So
with
the
the
yellow.
black glass,
Hit it,
the
Drew.
yellow
All
dot.
right, here we go.
We're gonna
Round
go
one.
We're gonna
Oh, that's sherry. Oh, no. Hello.
so yellow. So we're gonna start with. We're gonna talk about dot color, not glass.
I
color.
love it.
But by the way, that last tasting, I totally consciously put the green dot on not the green glass.
That makes sense.
Just
I
to
still
be
got
honest.
confused. Hey, we
I
didn't
know.
get a price point on the Rothes.
I'll pull it up a
I want
second.
to put that down there for the tail.
That is butterscotch meets sherry
Put on the
meets
sherry tap.
honey.
It's got a little bit of a funk too.
Oh,
$61.99.
So it
So
wasn't
Glenalky.
cheap.
so $28 less than the Dalmore, I guess, right?
Yeah, and this Dalmore, I mean,
It's 2 years older, so the price point.
It's not horrible
fair.
price though.
No.
No,
It really isn't.
no, I don't think so.
Ooh, I get a little bit of that sulfur note. Imagine that.
is it Macallan?
Not quite Macallan, but I get it in there.
We haven't had a good sulfur mark in a while, have we?
Right?
No,
No.
I thought I got over
I
it.
can't believe we haven't brought a Macallan over.
Where's
for
my
this sherry.
tire?
Well, we Macallan 12
What
lost
was the
like
very
first
first
round.
sherry?
Yeah, that's right.
Mac 12 like died first round. So
We haven't done any
It's almost like they're not as good as they think they are.
Okay, so
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
definitely has a sherry note in it. I got a little bit of sulfur. What type of sherry note? I don't get like an old leathery. I don't get. It's definitely much more of a fruitier, fresher fruit. Berry.
If it's got the sherry or the sulfur, and then that tends to be Oloroso, though, right?
Didn't smell it like. It didn't get that old leather. Didn't.
Yeah, I'm getting all sorts of old book and leather on that.
You are?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did.
I didn't. I got the opposite. I
Oh,
got
yeah, but-
sulfur.
Yeah, well, if you think compared to PX, you're not getting like grapey fruitiness.
No, I didn't get grapiness, but I got red berry. I got
that
or like
smells good,
blackberry, like a dark.
I will tell you, it is not like a rich ruby fruit kind of nose, but man, that oxidized.
What you got there, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Something different.
All right, all right.
Oh,
Nothing like this.
so
That's
thi-
good. I'm
so
excited.
this whiskey here is one of those ones you can just sit and sniff.
I agree.
I'm
with
gonna
you.
drink
I
it.
love the
that
smell of
yellow dot,
I'm gonna
Yellow
drink
smells
it.
good.
you can just smell it all day long. You don't even need to
I
drink
don't know what to think of this.
Look at Andrew's going right in. He's drinking.
I love when Andrew's like,
What are you
You
doing?"
know what?
Andrew don't
Sorry.
care.
Gets excited.
He's
it. You're
like,
not supposed to do that yet.
Is that interesting? I don't know what to think of that.
I'll wash it out.
talk to me, Goose.
It's a sweeter. Like
It's
to me,
almost-
that one's got a hint of that old tobacco and books, whereas this one has that sweet dried fruit.
It's almost like a wine finish or something. I'm not getting like super sherry. It's more like a wine, like
Yeah.
a Merlot or something even.
It's got like, I don't want to say like, I mean it's like dried fruit. Like it's not sweet.
Like raisins and plums, or
Yeah, like-
prunes,
but
or
not
is it-
super dense though. It's
but not like peaches and
Like-
fresh
like-
plum and things like
like
that.
dried plum, dried
So
cranberry.
prunes and raised, but okay.
Maybe not quite to a
cranberries, I think maybe.
prune.
I like your raisin analogy.
raisins
got
and
like-
grapes and cherries, and so I'm just
Like
throwing words
dried
out.
cherries, dried cranberry. Like it's got that dried fruit note.
Sure, that's a really good analogy. All
Yeah, I'm getting all sorts of sulfur on that gold now, on the yellow.
Are you gonna drink that? Want me to drink that?
well,
Which one are we on?
Still
So
not.
we're not supposed to drink it yet. I jumped ahead, so I'm gonna go back to. So red dot.
I feel like that's fine, man. Get in there.
So the red dot is not one that I would sit there and nose all day long.
No.
Right.
I just it's
This one you will. Yellow you will.
yeah, its nose is so clearly the gold, the yellow for me, the yellow dot wins nose one for sure.
Now,
I think it was harder to get the nose on the
I'm not
red
getting
dot
any nose
too.
on
I mean, I had to like really dig in there to pull some
Not
notes.
on yellow.
Not on yellow, no. Yellow, it was up front. It was like, hey, here I am. I think red, it's got notes, but you kind of got to like go side to side. You got to get in there and you can get after it. It's like it's dancing around the ring right now, and yellow is just headhunting.
That is delish.
Yeah, I'm not getting much nose on the red.
so this one I get like ginger snaps
Okay.
and it's got that like a
Honeysuckle.
little bit of mustiness. It's got some honeysuckle. It's got like orange peel and some things like that, like hints of citrus.
Some rock fruit.
It's nice. It's thinner than I thought it would be though, like
It is.
mouth coating wise.
When I first sipped it, I thought this was gonna be super rich, but it kind of thinned out, not
Yeah.
to be.
It's still got a nice. I mean, it coats the mouth and does a good job. Like I wouldn't spit that one out.
A bit of a finished spice, but doesn't taste hot.
The
No.
finish was almost a dark chocolatey for me.
Really?
Interesting, yeah.
That's
Everyone,
nice.
your comment about these kind of Glenfarclas 12 is in the batters. It's on deck. I think Glenfarclas 12 might show up in this ring in the future.
We have a bottle.
I like the palate. I like the palate, and I like the
too.
finish. The finish is hanging around quite a long time.
When it hit the nose again, although on second round it was not like I
It's
remember.
potent.
It's a really kind of a dry finish too.
Yeah.
Like
It is dry.
Sure.
I'm like really getting very little sweetness on this for a sherry finished whiskey or a sherry whiskey.
I mean, I've had drier whiskeys that you leave your mouth just like, what the hell? I need to take a drink of water. That one's getting there. It tries to get there. It is
Yeah.
cloying.
I think if it was a couple years older.
Yeah.
what's interesting about red is like if you poured me a dram of this, I'd be like, I don't know if that's sherry or not. I can't tell. It's hard to
I
tell.
would agree with that.
Subtle.
Very subtle.
So gold does not have the palate is just like for me,
Yeah.
or I guess yellow. I guess ready for water on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're all low ABV, so I won't put
A
too
little
much on.
sweeter, thin in the middle. Nice subtle finish though.
What do you mean by subtle? What flavor?
Just dips like it starts off sweet and then goes into a subtle sherry, not strong, but the finish really rises up with spice, like all spice and some wood.
That's
and
that spice note is weird
it is.
because you don't see it coming, and then all of a sudden you get to the finish, and you're like,
It does.
bam!
It does one of
Weird
these.
bad or weird unexpected?
Just weird, unexpected, I
Okay.
guess. Like I'll be interested to take another sip of that one and see if it's just like the first sip and it gets you.
So-
or
It doesn't follow. What's weird about this whole glass? What's weird about it is it does not follow the sherry program that I would think of a Scotch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like you know what I'm saying?
I can see.
Like what's a sherry? Is it?
So
It's like fake.
Is that a sherry?
I got a
don't
lot
know.
more
Artificial
softer
flavors?
vanilla on the nose before I've sipped it, and honestly, I'm getting a strawberry note on the bottom of it. So it's definitely more subtle than that one. That yellow one is definitely more of a sherry. It's like, hey, I'm a sherry. Nice to meet you. This one's kind of like not going to reveal itself. You got to kind of really
it's
force
like
it.
sherry curious.
I mean, seriously.
I don't know. I'm not voting.
So far, my card's easy. I mean, the yellow is definitely, I would say, like by far leading in this category, just because of its sherryness.
Okay,
Like, it's a sherry
okay, so-
category.
Yep.
So this is weird. The red now is starting to show show up now.
Signs of sherryness.
So it just needed to sit, maybe.
The nose is deeper. It's got
I don't know.
some dryness in it.
Put it to your ear. Maybe it says, "Oh, sherry."
It could be. Sounds like an
Should
ocean.
have been. Should have been go.
Should have been gone. Just like you. You're out of here. Take your ass off my set.
You guys, this is terrible.
Oh boy.
Terrible.
What you got, Andrew?
So John, you need
Vanillas
to
and
tune in
caramels?
when Glenfarclas 12 shows up for this.
It's like a bourbon finish.
It has
Vanillas
more
and
caramel
caramels.
than it does sherry, doesn't it? I agree.
Yeah, so
Weird.
if we're at the halfway point right now, my scorecard, I won't tell you which color is it, but I've got scored 10, 9, 10, 8.
Yeah, I'm 10-8, 10-8.
I feel like it's like two fighters who came to the wrong event.
Yeah, that is not far
It's like
off.
WWA Hulk Hogan versus
Right.
the Undertaker. I don't even know.
They
That's-
showed up for Taekwondo, and that's not what they're like. What's this cage about, fellas? What do we got going on here?
All right.
I don't know.
So we got water on these now, right?
So this is not a
Now listen.
proud event.
Water is a big change effect in sherry.
Absolutely.
Can be.
Should
So we should see something here.
I
I
expect
hope
it.
so. They both have the same amount of
Oh,
water.
we definitely smell something here.
All right.
So
sorry.
sherry caramel way up now. Really nice combo.
Wait, sherry or caramel? Which?
It's a sherry caramel. Both of them are there, but more caramel
It's
than
a
what's
caramel
before.
dip cherry. It's all of it.
All of it.
Really?
That's fancy.
2 of them. Well, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's awkward.
That's awkward. My bad.
All right.
The nose is a
Talk
little
to me.
more
So you're
intense.
talking about the yellow dot. The nose is shake your head yes or shake your head no.
He's not sure.
It's
So neither of these are blowing us up. Neither of
We
these
always
are.
skip round 3. We nose and drink at the same time. You guys.
Yeah, that's true.
We're too excited. That's a decent sherry glass.
I like the nose.
so that one's got a nice little spice run all the way across the top of the palate for like from front to the back. It's got some dried fruits. I lost all the like old books and leather and stuff on this one with the water, but it's got some nice sweet notes to it. It's got some vanillas and caramels showing up now. It's decent glass now.
You know what's weird is I don't taste like. I've been thinking which one's PX. I don't know because I can
I got
normally
a lot
pull
of
that out.
chocolate on that now.
Yeah.
And it's not there at all. Like this is
Honestly,
It's
with
gotta be
water,
the
that
red.
reminds me of
the red
Boone
has to
Haven.
be PX.
I don't know what.
I said with water, that reminds me of Boone Haven 12.
I'm not getting the chocolate notes.
Oh,
like you are.
totally. I'm getting on the nose. I am. Yeah.
Man, yeah, I got a lot of chocolate on the back back end of the finish.
Are you getting chocolate? No, I'm not.
Oh,
either.
yeah.
I am. Oh, it's good. It's tasty. It's really tasty.
I would say the yellow has a much better nose.
Oh, you guys will take too long.
Right?
Drew's diving in.
Speed dram it.
Speed dram it. Not wearing that shirt.
Red just does not compete in the nose at all. I'm sorry.
So Alexander and Trooper, you know what? You guys keep your eyes open. Every now and again, a Dalmore will come through the SMWS, and you can get that.
You know who
freaking-
buys that stuff? This
that
guy.
because Dalmore at cast strength is
Oh, amazing. Whatever they're charging for it, you should go ahead and buy one.
Right.
They are legit
I'm gonna tell
amazing.
you right now. Do not count red out on the palate.
Really?
Uh-oh. Trying to go for the knockout blow?
It's super soft on the nose.
The nose is nothing, but that palate came back with fire. Wow.
So the yellow glass or yellow dot with water is a flavorful whiskey.
A little bitter.
It is a little bit nondescript, and as I'm having a hard time like pulling out flavor profile components, but
Damn.
I mean generally it's nice, it's pleasant, there's
Yeah, I
nothing
agree.
off.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a sherry glass.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what you guys think about this red now. I think it's much better than was neat. Much better.
It is.
Oh.
Big time better.
I don't know if it's.
I'm not comparing it to yellow. I'm comparing it to
Wow.
what it was neat.
So, the flavor profile, the finish into the palate into finish goes a completely different direction than I expected it. Honestly, it'd probably throw you guys off. You can make fun of it. I actually, in the transition from palate to finish, I'm getting like a strawberry now and later.
Yeah.
No. What's the other
I
one?
know what you're saying.
Starburst. A strawberry Starburst. I get a little bit of that flavor, and I'm like, where did you come from? I didn't quite expect that. It's definitely got a unique profile. It's different with water for sure. I gotta taste a little bit more. I'm not.
Go ahead. Yeah. Now it's all in. So the red with water
easy.
is sweeter. Yeah, maybe some strawberry in there, but I'm not getting any known sherry profile in it.
Guys, this is we're making this.
We are.
Listen. Red
Didn't show
showed up and tried to play and did not know how to play. I will say, much better with water. I think that it definitely had more appeal, but compared to yellow, it doesn't even compare. Like in the sherry world,
Yellow is my glass every day.
no, there's no comparison.
No.
Really.
You agree?
Yeah, I would say I had it 10-9, 10-8. 10-9, 10-9, maybe 10-8, 10-9. Yeah.
That's
Yellow.
it's giving red.
Yeah,
nice
so
notes.
I mean, we're talking like 40 to 36,
Yeah.
40 to 35 total.
Are we all agreement
I'm-
here?
So, I'm a little disappointed with both of these, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
Neither one of them
I-
are super shares.
Like, I honestly wish I could pick both of the bottles from the last contest, and neither one of these.
Yes.
I
would
will say
agree.
I'm
I would agree,
surprised
totally agree with you.
Lasanta lost, knowing what this is.
So that's a good topic. That's a good suggestion. Let's
Yeah,
finish.
yeah.
I want
Oh, let
to
me pull
touch
it
on
up.
that in just a second.
Hold on, I gotta find the mouse. There it is.
So let's go to the cam. We're saying the yellow dot won.
Are you kidding me?
Where's the yellow dot?
On the
Right
on the
here.
Glenrothes.
Oh.
So Glenrothes won again?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Because I thought the red dot was a PX. Yeah,
At
absolutely.
least at least that makes me feel vindicated that it stood in the
Yes,
ring.
your
with
guys'
Lasanta.
your guys' marks definitely feel. I feel better about what you guys did with
You didn't
Lasanta.
think that's what we picked?
I did not.
I didn't either.
I did
I
not.
thought
did.
for
I
sure
thought
we were
Dalmore
picking-
was more sure
No,
than
no,
this.
no. Because if that's PX, clearly the
I was
red dot-
hoping I was wrong based on. That's why I was said Lasanta because I was like, if you guys pick,
those guys picked this over Lasanta.
I think I can understand why
Standing
now.
by what I do.
I can understand it
It
better
does.
now.
What are you gonna do?
I thought the other. I was mixed up, so it doesn't matter. We stuck with Glenrothes. I love Glenrothes, so it showed up to play. However, I would love to pour a glass of Lasanta next time.
Well, so let's get into that topic. So as we're rounding into September, we still have a good 2 months worth of fights or so coming up, right? But at the end, we are going to start sending out communications to patrons to see which bottle they want to bring back. So they can go through the categories. We'll list it out who has fought, who's won, who's lost. You can pick a loser and bring it back into the category. And then we're going to throw it out to the general YouTube subscriber community, and they'll get a vote as well. So we're thinking about bringing, 2 or 3 bottles back that way. I don't know, maybe the dummies get together and we put a bottle
We'll
in.
pick one, yeah.
We'll put a couple, we'll add a couple losers in there that maybe held the belt for 4 or 5 weeks, or you think really belong in
That's a
there.
blend category, right?
That's, yeah.
Well,
so,
I was gonna say though,
But-
because I feel like we're gonna put this in the blend fight, but
It's a share.
it almost deserves it can play in this field.
oh,
Well,
it can play.
well,
He just
that-
needs to win through on the blends, and
And
it ends
that's
up
the
with
key.
everybody else.
That's the point, because at the end, all the fields get matched together. So if it wins the blend, it's going to have to go up against a sherry. It's going to have to go up against a
Yeah.
peat.
So
gonna
it's
have
like
to go-
blood sport.
Exactly.
Or like
Exactly.
Highlander.
What's the difference?
All right.
If Bruce Springsteen's a Shidoshi, right? I mean, we're talking about old quotes.
We got
Great
5 minutes
movie,
left. So
great movie.
who's the winners tonight? We're Glenrothes and Glenmorangie, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
correct.
So current kings are
Current
still
Kings
king.
maintain the title.
Dude, we need to have.
And you know what? 2 bottles that you can go into any liquor store and pick up.
That's true.
Glenrothes is a little harder to find. Isn't it?
They're everywhere.
There's
Okay,
a
this
lot.
this one you can find
I
anywhere.
would argue that Glenrothes is a hell of a lot easier to find than Dalmore 14.
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
That
so-
Dalmore 14.
So this is funny. So people are freaking out. Look at this. Glenrothes beat Dalmore, which is like when you see like
guys.
Yeah, and then it beat over Glenmore beat Glencadam. It's like
I'm telling you what, this Dalmore, when I picked it up, I was super excited.
You thought
Yes.
that there's a new king coming to town, but it didn't stand.
It did not do
I would have put money on it.
like
I would have too.
I'd have put money on
I
it,
know
too.
on this was a tight fight.
That was a tight
this
fight.
was a tight fight, guys. Glencadam's no joke. It definitely went
if you're
all four
watching
rounds.
this on the replay and you are an ex-bourbon finished person, either one of these bottles are no-brainers.
Yeah.
so the question is, neck pour.
Possibly. But.
Yeah,
Maybe.
whatever. I think this one's going upstairs to Drew's bar upstairs.
I don't blame
I
you.
just
No, that's every day.
All right, so Glenrothes and Glenmo. I know y'all are freaking out about it, and
We're kind of freaking out about it. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
That's
That's all
you
right.
could
That's
see
crazy.
the yellow dot
That's all right.
throughout the fight. Peter Newton says you could see.
Oh, we
the
couldn't
yellow.
see it. So this
No,
is all
it looks white.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, I
Like,
didn't
you
even.
can't
I-
tell because it's
Yeah, it's the back of the sticker.
Yeah.
So you actually
Yeah,
can't
you're
see
seeing the white side of the sticker, so you wouldn't even have known that. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Half the time, I think I know what's in each glass, and
I
I'm mostly
I did think I knew both fights and
But-
didn't. So
shocked. Glenrothes, and actually feel a little vindicated that Glenrothes is at least,
So we've got some. We'll probably do this again next week. Another sherry and bourbon finish because we got some catch up to do in both of those categories. Because
Right.
the peat
Rounded
is
it,
killing
yeah,
it, like
yeah.
as far as total volume. So we
yeah,
need to
because
catch
they're
up.
so good.
Yeah, so we got another bourbon coming up. We got some contenders. We've got a Tomatin 12. We've got Glenfarclas.
What about blended? We got to bring the Kirkland in.
No, the Kirkland is not coming in. It's sitting over there.
somebody just suggested that we do a like a super low end category.
Like
So maybe that
Inverhouse.
can just be one night where you bring in like 6 handles.
It's like an undercard fight, Just
I think
right
that should be an
in.
Andrew only
That's
episode.
a speed.
And you just do them all up and pick like one winner out of the 6, and it's just a one-off. They
It's
don't
just-
get to go on.
That would be funny. Like we do a show and it's just Andrew. Well, they didn't want to participate, so it's just you and me.
We got some plastic
handles.
We're talking.
just
Let's go.
you, me, and Dr. Scotch, and we're about to get it on.
And Clan McGregor.
Klein McGregor and Inverhouse. We're doing it.
Pick a dram. Pick a dram.
So
I'm
we've
gonna
got
go,
more fights coming up in the coming weeks.
Who won this one?
Then there and to be looking out, there will be some communications coming out to the subscriber, YouTube subscriber community and the patrons in regards to how we're going to put this comeback bottle, if you will,
Also the
second
handles.
chance bottle. But looking forward to that. So
Oh, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the fights tonight. I really actually enjoyed the Glencadam fight more.
Look at you.
Surprised with
Before this guy takes it to
Dalmore.
his bar.
But at the end of the day, that's what this was about. That's what we're supposed to do.
I will say, Everwin, it was a great suggestion a long time ago, and Bobby and I talked about this last week. This is such a fun series. It really is because it takes, it's just unbiased opinions right now, and it's based on realism of what you can go buy in the shelves right now.
There is a reason these guys sell millions of bottles a year.
Absolutely, you're
It's
right.
good whiskey.
You're right.
It is.
And,
So-
I mean, it's the foundation for everything they do. So, at the end of the day, hey, a quick reminder: if you're not going over to Scotch in the Bayou and Super Chatting her, that's your fault.
Fair
'Cause
enough.
I know I am.
Next time she
is
goes live,
possible.
she's getting a super. You know what? We're gonna be the first one to super chatter. Absolutely.
That seems right.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
Well, she got to go live again first.
But
She's gonna let me know first.
well, she's got to
Heads
get that
up.
internet fixed. But anyway, guys, great fights tonight.
Fun night, fun night.
Good times. Hey, James, Wheelhouse Whiskey, thank you, sir.
Thank you, James.
We will be sure to reach out to you when we're ready to open that bottle. Hopefully, you
Those
still got
bottles.
some left.
Those bottles.
Oh, those bottles.
I like what you think.
Cheers.
Tamale.
Tamale.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, y'all.
3, 2, 1.
Here we